again. Thank you all for tuning in to the Everyday PJ channel where we keep it lit. We definitely keeping it lit. I want everybody to come in and sit down. Come in and sit down. Okay. I'm gonna try to keep up with the comments a little bit today. No, I ain't lying. Don't get me to lie. So today we got another video where a wife is cheating on her husband. Hello, Cookie. A wife is cheating on her husband with his best friend. Okay. Now, I'm not gonna hold y'all forever. Let's get into it.
I'm cheating on my husband, and I finally have the balls to tell the world. I told him, and of course, he didn't handle it how we would want him to handle it. But I mean, it's what he is expected to do. So, anyways, I wanted to come on here to tell the whole story of how it all happened, what's going on, who it is, all of that. So first, I want to start by saying I don't promote cheating on your spouse. It's definitely not something, that we should be doing as women. It's negatively looked upon. So don't take this video as that. And if it's a trigger, I'm sorry. But it all started, so I started having a friendship with this particular person, and it's actually a friend of my husband as well, and we just have been hanging out around him a lot lately. We started out with just simple conversation, like we were friends, but we ended up kind of pushing it past that a little. Not a little, I'll get into how far. But we ended up kind of like secretly seeing each other, trying to find ways to see each other, and doing that behind my husband's back. I'm cheating on my husband, and part 2 of what's going on with me cheating on my husband. So we ended up with me writing love letters and stuff. So I started really growing feelings for him. And I never thought that you could for two people. I thought that as women or men, like it's like you love one person and that's it. However, not true. So I started going back to like back in the days where I just started writing him love letters and stuff, and we would secretly pass it to each other. I didn't want like the evidence on my phone too much. So I started writing him these little notes and like making them into like straw looking paper, and I would pass them to him whenever he would come around. And he kept them, I guess. And he would read them and we would smile and stuff at each other. And I mean, we still texted each other. It was a lot of like deleting messages and then going to recently deleted and deleting those as well. And that's the furthest of how we were communicating before we started becoming physical, which I'll explain a little more in part 3. Okay, so this is part 3. So now that the like building the connection part has passed, we ended up starting to do like stuff secretly when my husband and I would go over to his house. And whenever we would go over there, I would try to go over there more, obviously, because I really wanted to see him. And I did feel bad for my husband. Like it was sad to see to know what I was doing, knowing that he really loves me the way he does, but I really did not care. I still wanted to always go around this other guy. I think the reason was because I couldn't believe that there was someone else besides my husband that I really am like emotionally attached to now. So this is a big deal for me, at least. And this is all part of the conversation that I had with my husband. So, anyways, we have been going around to his house a lot more often. He also has a daughter, so we bring, like, you know, our children over there. And the last time we went over there is when it really hit the fan. So a lot of weird stuff started happening. And it started becoming, I started getting like really scared because my husband was doing a lot of acting suspicious. Like he was looking through stuff, and I got nervous. I got nervous because I knew and I had a feeling that this guy was saving all of my love letters. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope he does not have my love letters around here somewhere. Because, oh my gosh, if my husband finds them, I would be heartbroken for him. Okay, so this is part 3. So now that the, like, okay, so now the bedroom search. So
I can hear the streets
we are
calling.
at
Some streets for streets.
my, I guess lovers will call him. That is so wrong, but we're at my lover's house, and my husband started to, like I said, kind of just look around a lot. So he was looking through like the stuff that was on, you know, his desk, and he had like a dresser. Like his room was really big, so like we would sit like on the couch in there and stuff like that. And his daughter's room was, you know, around the corner. But anyways, we were in there, and my husband was like looking through like at trophies and papers and stuff. Anyways, he had my straw like letters. He had them posted up on the shelf inside of his room. And for some reason, I don't know why, of course, but my husband ended up like grabbing the stack of them. It looked like sage, basically, like when you have like the sticks and stuff. It was like thin straw like that. So my husband ended up grabbing them and became suspicious. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are these? This is weird, like wrapped up paper. Like, I wonder what this is. So I'm looking because I know what they are. Like, I'm like on the bed, kind of like this, and I'm just, you know, looking at my husband in front of me with these papers in his hand. And I'm getting super nervous because I'm like, oh my God, he's going to look at these letters, and he knows how I write. He knows how I talk. So I started getting really nervous. My heart is pounding even thinking about it. Okay. So now so while he's holding these letters in his hand, I'm like kicking him, like, hey, what are you doing? Why are you going through this guy's stuff? And he's like, you know, this is one of my best friends. So, you know, this is weird. Like, don't you think it's weird? What the hell? I'm sorry, what the heck? So I'm like, no, that's not weird. Like, don't go through his stuff. That's personal. This is our friend. Why are you doing that? Anyways, he didn't give a shit. They're friends. So he ended up unrolling one of the papers. Heart, like I said, is super pounding. The whole time that he is doing this, the guy is in another room, wrapped in a towel because I just came out of there. And I'm nervous for him because I know my husband's temper. And I know that this is it. My husband, I knew this was it. I knew that my husband was going to put the two and two together. I was so shocked that not only was I that freaking dumb, but this guy was. Like, why are you saving these letters? Who in their right mind knows what we're doing? Mind you, this is his friend. I am his wife. Why are you saving letters from me? Now, my husband is reading the letters. He's reading them. And they're not like long love letters like back in the day where you wrote like 4-page letters. Shout out to Leah. So it was like really probably about 2 paragraphs. Front page, super small, like small notebook paper. So they're like not too long. He probably took about a minute and a half to read each letter. I think he read about 2 or 3. When he was reading them, like I said, I was losing it. Who wouldn't, right? Their husband is reading love letters that his wife wrote to another man that she's falling in love with, and that person just happens to be his friend. Might I add, his friend that I frequently want to hang out with because of his daughter. That's kind of the excuse that we like to use. Plus, he had a really beautiful house. Like, we just love being over there because it was a nice house. He was a little more well off. Not a little more, he was very well off. So, my husband's heart dropped. I can see the pain and how he felt. And he just looked at me. And I looked at him. And kind of just dropped back like this. And that's when all hell broke loose. So now my husband knows. He asked me clearly, is this you? Did you write these letters? He asked me for my phone as well. So of course, like I said, I'm deleting the messages and I'm going like into like every part of my phone that I can to make sure that I delete like even the recently deleted. However, if he kept the letters, this guy, right? Who's not to say he didn't keep the text messages, right?
Messages all in his phone.
Like I said, if you know that this is something that you're doing that's wrong, why hold evidence? What does holding evidence do for you? I think he was, like I said, I was falling in love. I was getting emotionally attached. But I think for him, it was more like, I don't know if he kept them to throw in my husband's face.
No accountability.
I don't know if he kept them because he was also feeling the same. So, like, this was all he had to hold on to because he knew that I was married. And I mean, I wasn't planning at that time to get a divorce. I knew eventually it was coming because, like I said, I didn't think.
I ain't gonna lie, this hotel Wi-Fi is trash. Lord. Give it some time. Oh my God. Anyway, intermission. This girl is tripping. She really is taking no accountability for her cheating on her husband and then saying like blaming it on guy.
Now,
Oh my God.
so now my husband knows. I was getting emotionally attached, but I think for him it was more like, I don't know if he kept them to throw in my husband's face. I don't know if he kept them because he was also feeling the same. So, like, this was all he had to hold on to because he knew that I was married. And I mean, I wasn't planning at that time to get a divorce. I knew eventually it was coming because, like I said, I didn't think that I would feel this way for somebody else besides my husband. But, you know, it was eventually going to hit the fan and we were going to lead to the negative side of marriage and the ending part. So, of course, my husband also asks Guy to see his phone. Wow. So now my husband knows. He asked me clearly, is this you? Did you write these letters? He asked me for my phone as well. So of course, like I said, I'm deleting the messages and I'm going like into like every part of my phone that I can to make sure that I delete like even the recently deleted. However, if he kept the letters, this guy, right? When he asked Guy to see his phone, he gave it to him so willingly. So I'm confident. I'm like, oh, he's not going to see anything. He would not have handed him the phone that quickly. So once again, I'm just laying on his bed. I thought it was weird. I mean, if it was me and I was in the situation that my husband was in, I would have been a little annoyed that he was laying on the bed. However, at that time, I mean, what's the worst that could happen, right? So, anyways,
Trash.
my husband now has Guy's phone and he's looking through it. Sure enough, this guy had me in his phone as soon to be wife. That was my name in his phone. So my husband goes into soon to be wife because this guy didn't have a girlfriend. He didn't have like he didn't have anything that he had going on with another woman besides me, of course. So my husband did go into those text messages and he started reading. When he started reading the messages, there was a lot. I mean, he was talking about what we did in the room. He was talking about emotions. I was doing the same. You can see the look on my husband's face. Because, like I said, we were really having grown folks conversations,
No
going into
accountability.
some deep stuff. In there, the part that I regret the most was not that we were talking about grown up stuff. It was not that we were talking about emotions. It wasn't that we were like, it wasn't what you would think it would be. The worst part was I was telling him the ways that I was planning to leave my husband. That's the part that broke my heart, I think, for my husband, because now he knows that I was planning to leave him for this guy. Now, to be honest with you guys,
She's
I really wasn't. I
trash.
think that I was just playing the game and trying to make like this guy like me or fall in love with me. You know, you play the game when you're talking to someone else. It's fun. Men do it. Women do it the same way, FYI. So the sad part was that my husband is reading these messages of me telling this guy how I am planning to leave him, kids and all. My husband confirms with both Guy and I, and we admitted it. We told him everything right there. Like we said, yep, this is what it is. What you're reading is us. So every time that my husband and I would joke about like me cheating on him, he's like, girl, you will be in a grave, you and whoever it is, and you're never gonna leave me, blah, blah, blah. However, in this moment, he did not react that way. He did not. He reacted very calmly. Like I said, I can see that he was very hurt. Like, I can see it. I know him. He's my husband. But he acted very calmly and like very mature, very demure. I don't even know if I used that correctly. But anyways, he acted very calm and he just left. Left me there with the guy. Mind you, he's still in a towel. Left me there with him and took the two kids. We only had AJ and Aliyah with us. My husband confirms with both Guy and I, and we admitted it. We told him everything right there. Like we said, yep, this is what it is. What you're reading is us. So every time that my husband and I would joke about like me cheating on him, he's like, girl, you will be in a grave, you and whoever it is, and you're never gonna leave me, blah, blah, blah. However, in this moment, he did not react that way. He did not. He reacted very calmly. Like I said, I can see that he was very hurt. Like, I can see it. I know him. He's my husband. But he acted very calmly and like very mature, very demure. I don't even know if I used that correctly. But anyways, So I didn't stay there. When he did leave with the kids, I didn't stay there because now at this point I knew that he knows. So for some reason, like, I was sad. I was mad that he didn't get like, he didn't react like he always said he would. So I'm like, does he not love me anymore? And because I felt like that, I'm like, oh my God, I have to go chase him. Like, I have to figure out why the hell he didn't handle it. Like, he wasn't mad. I expected him to be mad. I think I would have been okay with the decision if he was mad, but he wasn't mad. He was just like, okay, whatever. And he left with my kids. And I really was just like, this is weird. I need to chase after him and see what's going on. So I ended up leaving the guy there and, getting the car and driving to my husband's mom's house, which is where I expected he would be. And she lived like on the top of a hill. And he went, when I pulled up, there was a U-Haul truck. So I didn't leave immediately. Let me put that. I waited a little bit. I probably waited like 20 minutes, maybe an hour, maybe two. But I waited a little bit of time. And then I ended up going, like I said, to his mom's house. So I didn't. So when I get to his mom's house, like I said, there was a U-Haul truck there. And my heart dropped because I'm like, oh my gosh, immediately he is moving out and already has his stuff in this U-Haul truck. Like, it's like it happened so fast. So I'm like, oh my gosh, he's leaving me for real. And I pull up to his mom's house and he, like I said, he was so calm. The kids were inside with his mom and he was taking his stuff. He didn't take everything from me. He just took what he thought was rightfully his, which was perfectly fine. We weren't like quarrel, or we weren't going to go crazy about whose is what and all of that. However, when I got there, he just walked away from me. I mean, he, like I said, he wasn't arguing, he wasn't being mean or anything. He just walked away. He didn't want anything to do with the whole situation anymore. I could tell. So, like I said, that broke my heart. And I tried to talk to his mom and see like where her mind was, where his mind was. And she was just like, I don't know what to tell you. He didn't tell me the full story. I just know that he asked me if he can come back and he's here. So, I was taken aback. Like, you're really gonna end our whole marriage just because of that? So when I get to his mom's house, like I said, there was a U-Haul truck there. And my heart dropped because I'm like, oh my gosh, immediately he is moving out, and already has his stuff in this U-Haul truck. Like, it's like it happened so fast, so I'm like, oh my gosh, he's leaving me for real. And I pull up to his mom's house, and he, like I said, he was so calm. The kids were inside with his mom, and he was taking his stuff. He didn't take everything from me. He just took what he thought was rightfully his, which was perfectly fine. We weren't like quarrel, or we weren't gonna go crazy about whose is what and all of that. However, when I got there, he just walked away from me. I mean, he, like I said, he wasn't arguing, he wasn't being mean or anything. He just walked away. He didn't want anything to do with the whole situation anymore. I could tell. So, like I said, that broke my heart. And I tried to talk to his mom and see like where her mind was, where his mind was. And she was just like, I don't know what to tell you. He didn't tell me the full story. I just know that he asked me if he can come back, and he's here. So I was taken aback. Like, you're really gonna end our whole marriage just because of that?
I need coffee.
So what I already explained in the videos, so did you go back and hang out with the guy? So the guy, I will continue to call him Guy. He was calling my phone. He was texting me a lot. He was trying to make me go back to him. I guess at this point he realized that now it's the time for me to really make the decision. So he was calling me a lot, texting me. Now I was at my husband's mom's house because he had the U-Haul truck up there. So I was ignoring the calls and stuff. And I'm not gonna get to the part yet of me going back, or if I didn't or anything like that. I will just say that he didn't leave me alone that exact day. He did continue to call. Eventually I did respond, and I'll let you know about that as well. But so the video that this comes. Okay, so now I'm gonna tell a little more about the story and how he handled it for real. So I left off where he kind of just walked out of the house, and he took the kids, and I left a little after. Like I said, it was probably an hour or two. And I knew he was gonna be at his mom's house. So, well, I didn't know, but I decided, let me just go check there, because that's usually when we used to argue, like in the beginning of our relationship. That's like always where he went. He was just with his mom. It's his comfort zone, of course. So anyways, I'm at his mom's house still, and the kids are there, and I'm talking to his mom about like the situation. Like I said, she doesn't really know what's going on. He really didn't give her too much context. And we both agreed that we really wouldn't do that if we were arguing. We didn't want a lot of like friends and family to know. So while I'm talking to her, we're just having a conversation, and he ends up leaving and going somewhere. I didn't have the authority to, I felt at that time, I didn't have the authority to say, hey, where are you going? So I kind of just let him do his thing and take the car that he had. Okay, so now I'm gonna tell a little more about the story and how so he left, and I didn't want to be there too much longer, like hanging out. And his mom said that she would keep the kids. She didn't feel comfortable with me taking them or him taking them even. So I ended up leaving and I went to the gas station, to get myself something to drink, just regular little gas station stuff. I know that my tire pressure was low on my left side, I remember, and then I had to put gas in the car because I was going to be probably driving around for a little bit. I didn't really know where I was going to go at that point, but I knew that I didn't want to go home because him and the kids weren't there. I didn't want to stay at his mom's house. And I didn't decide yet if I wanted to go back to Guy for that night. So I decided, let me just go fill the tank up, get myself some snacks, and I'll probably do like the ride around, listen to music like I used to do back in the days. So I'm at the gas station, and usually when we went to put gas in the car, we fill it up. Who wants to go put $5? I mean, whatever, to each their own. So I swiped my card at the pump. I'm paying at the pump, and it kept saying like the card's not working. However, I know our credit limit, so I knew I definitely do have the funds available to be able to fill the car up. So I go inside and I'm like, oh, the pump is not working. She said to try to do it there. So I tried to pay inside. So I didn't use the credit card to pay for like the snacks or whatever. I just used a regular debit card. But I tried to use the credit card to pay for the gas to
Ass
fill it up.
off.
So I told them put 60 on pump 4.
Lousy
I think it
trick.
was pump 4. Don't hold me to that. And he had canceled my card. So I grabbed another credit card and I'm like, okay, let me just try a different one. If I'm thinking he canceled the card, he wouldn't think to cancel them all. I don't know what I was thinking at that time, but I was like, let me try a different card, one of the other credit cards. They all declined as well. So I found myself in a stuck position. Of course, it was understandable. Great, you canceled all the credit cards, right? Wow.
What you think was gonna happen?
So I'm at the gas station.
Stupid
So
ass.
I ended up going into the car and calling all the credit card companies and trying to see what happened. Like, why are the cards declining? And also, I was just wanting to confirm what I obviously knew. And he did. He removed me as an authorized user. I no longer had
Oh,
access to use
he
his
was a
credit
he should have
cards. It
canceled
was 2 or 3 of
Christmas.
them. It was
He should
great.
have canceled Christmas. Cut her
So
lights off.
I went back in with my debit card and I tried to use that. Our debit, our bank account is a joint account. So because he left so smoothly, just, took the U-Haul and only got what was rightfully his and what, it was fine. Whatever he took, it was fine.
My bad.
I didn't think
I be
that there
tripping.
was going to come
It's the coke and
like
ice.
more stuff was going to come. So I didn't expect that now our joint account was going to be affected. However, when I went back in, I wasn't able to buy anything else with my debit card, which, like I said, it's a joint account. It's both of our funds. Now the debit card is declining. So at this point, I'm pissed. I'm like, this is my money too. What the fuck? Why the fuck can't I use my own money, my debit card? He took everything out of our bank account. So, like I said, the whole time when I was at Guy's house, I was nervous because I'm like, oh my gosh, he's not reacting how he's always said he would. He's
Should have took it
just
all.
leaving. But the first thing he did was take all of my funds availability away. I had nothing. I think my tank was probably close. It was close to half a tank. So
I'm getting annoyed with this
I
hotel
had
internet.
nothing. I had
I ain't
no
gonna lie.
money. None of the credit cards were working. So my only option was either to go to Guy's house, or I could decide to drive around with what I have, or I can just say fuck it and go home. So I decided, I guess the best thing to do because of everything that happened was to go home. And that's what I did. I wasn't far from home. I ended up going to the house. Why did I go to the house? When I pulled up to the house, Anthony was there and Guy's car was there. I found it weird because Guy stopped calling and texting me like he was when I was at Anthony's mom's house. He wasn't bothering me as much. And then, Anthony leaves, and now all of a sudden I'm not getting any more calls, I'm not getting any more text messages. So I go to our house, and like I said, in the driveway was Anthony's car and Guy's car. The house wasn't lit up like they were, in the house. All I could notice was that the kitchen light was on, and my heart dropped because I'm like, oh my gosh, is he handling it how he said he was going to handle it? You know how I said he was going to handle it. So I open my door and I get out the car and I go to grab the door handle, and the door was already kind of opened a little bit. Like I don't know why they didn't close it, but the door was a little open and I can see them both standing by the island in the kitchen. And it was loud. They were talking very loudly. So I kind of was standing there to hear and be nosy and hear what they were talking about. And my husband was being very aggressive. When I pulled up to the house, Anthony ended up going up to him like super close to his face. He was really in his face. And Guy is not like a small guy. I feel like him and Anthony are kind of the same size. So neither of them were like backing down. I don't know if it's because, they know each other. They're friends, right? But I can see that my husband did have protection, I would say. I don't want to say, specifically what it is, but he was protected. So at this point, I'm super nervous. I ended up going into the kitchen and I'm just like, okay, this is something we all should be talking about. We're all adults, and it wasn't just Guy's problem, it was mine as well. So Anthony just kind of pushed me off. He didn't hit me. He pushed me off to the side and told me to shut the fuck up and let him handle it like a man. And of course, I just kind of stepped off and sat there and let them continue on with the conversation. But I was getting pissed by what was being communicated between the both of them.
But
Anthony
you started this.
I just wanted to do a quick video to answer this question real quick. Okay, y'all. So, I was standing there in the kitchen, and Guy and my husband were getting into a kind of an elevated conversation. They were saying stuff that didn't need to be said. So I did end up, contacting the authorities and having them come in to kind of just de-escalate the situation and make sure that it doesn't go anywhere, and, just make sure everything was okay. So they did end up coming, and they ended up taking or having Anthony leave. So we're at my house, and yes, he had to leave the house. Anthony ended up leaving, and everybody else also left with him. And Guy and I decided that he was going to stay with me because it was a lot to, kind of just grasp everything that happened in just this day. So Guy
She
did
is
decide, it would
trash.
be best if he stayed, and I was fine with that. So we both stayed at my house. Okay, y'all. So, I was saying, so Guy did end up telling me some stuff, that he felt I should know. I guess since he was heated, it was like, okay, that was my friend, but since, he wants to act like that, I don't know what his point was, but this is what I was thinking in my head. So now I'm going to get all the tea on what, he knows about my husband, which obviously was one of his best friends. So he starts telling me just some stuff, like little things that I had suspicions of, but never had like solid proof or evidence. Like I never asked Guy about it because, that's not even his place. But so he started telling me things that I had suspicions about. So he kind of confirmed them for me. Like, my husband just talking to other women and just things that made the whole reaction that my husband had, it made it make sense at that point to me. Because I'm like I said, he always said that if I did something and he caught me, it would be out of control. However, Guy kept feeding me more and more tea, and it was hurting me. So he told me. So Guy ended up telling me about a situation that I had no suspicion of at all.
God
He
is
didn't
a
have a
B
suspicion of me,
A
but I
N.
had no suspicions of at all. So we ended up putting on like just some music in the background, and I remember having the fireplace like on YouTube just playing. There was no like sound or anything coming from the YouTube, but we did have music on in the background. And I can tell that Guy could see that I was trying to reach out to Anthony because I was trying to contact my husband and see where he was, what he was doing, was he okay. I wanted to make sure that like nothing happened once they made him leave the house. But he wasn't responding to me. He wasn't answering my text messages. He wasn't answering my calls. He was literally just ignoring me. And I was getting a
Dirty
bit
Mackin at his
like
finest.
sad or like bothered by it because I wanted to know where he was going. I wanted to see, what he had going on. And he wasn't responding. So Guy could see that I was trying to, not contact, but he seen that I was very like involved in my phone. I was just paying my phone so much attention. So I'm sure that he kind of put two and two together that I was trying to reach out to my husband, which I can tell bothered him. But at that moment, like with everything that happened for the day, I just felt like it was necessary. I felt like I needed to check in on my husband. And I wasn't getting a response for some odd reason. So Guy ended up telling me about a situation that I had no suspicion of at all. He didn't have a suspicion of me, but I had no suspicions of at all. So we ended up putting on like just some music in the background, and I remember having the fireplace like on YouTube just playing. There was no like sound or anything coming from the YouTube, but we did have music on in the background. So Anthony's not answering any of my text messages. And Guy can kind of tell, of course, that I'm bothered. So I don't know if the next piece of information he gave me is because he can tell this and he wanted me to be solely focused on him. But it was a bomb. It was a real bomb. Like it was a heart bomb. It was really painful. So, anyways, he ends up telling me about this person that we all know, a mutual part of, our circle of friends. I wouldn't say friends, but like our mutual circle of people.
Yo, I'm getting my money back on this high speed internet from the hotel. I'm getting my money back. Y'all better refund me my money because I do not pay for high speed internet, and this happens. This is crazy.
We know. She's probably been like just kind of around for like 7 years that I can count. And guy ended up saying that, he kind of hinted that.
Yo, not only is this story, this chick burning my soul, but the internet is crashing. So not only are you a trash ass woman, my internet is trash. Okay? And that's why it's messing up. Because this woman is not taking no accountability for nothing that she did. She caused everything in this story. Everything in this story she caused. And she's like, oh, well, I wanted to call the authorities because things were getting heated. Girl, she's like, oh, I pulled up to the house and Guy is there and Anthony's there. And why are you're not the victim, ma'am? He want to talk to his friends. And yes, it got heated. It got worse when you showed up. You should have you shouldn't have brought your, and then she stayed at the house with the guy. Oh my God. You made Anthony leave the house.
He tried to say without saying that there was something going on. So, of course, I tried to pry it out of him. I'm like, what's the. So he ended up, just telling me, hey, she's actually been dealing with Anthony, and that's why she's been around so. That's why we go around her, and her kid. Like I said, we also have children together and they're smaller. So she has a 4-year-old that, we bring around. And guy ends up telling me, they've been dealing with each other for. So we're having the conversation and he's breaking it down about little pieces of times that my husband was away in Alabama, and there was a time he said that his phone broke. There was like this crazy storm and there was a big puddle. And
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, this is hella frustrating. I don't want to buy no. I'm not paying nothing extra for no hotel Wi-Fi ever again. Cause what the hell? We trying to get into this cheating ass woman who doesn't take accountability for nothing that happened. You know what? I'm gonna tell y'all what. Can I be honest? I'm gonna be honest. This is what y'all Negroes get for dating white women. Okay? I'm gonna just say it. Okay? Y'all think y'all get the white girl, y'all you get her pregnant, you got this fabulous life, and look at her. She out here cheating on you. And then you want to come back to the black queen. Nah, that ain't how it work, young man. That ain't how it work. Nah, stay over there. Stay over there. Don't bring your mess. Don't bring your mess after the she devil then did you wrong, have you looking all crazy, and now you want to come back to the black Nubian princesses. That's not how that work. Okay?
in front of the hotel that he was
I'm
supposed to
just
stay
playing.
at, and his phone fell into it and it broke. I was
I'm stupid.
calling the hotel. They weren't, I mean, he wasn't answering the hotel phone. He wasn't answering his phone. It was going straight to voicemail. So, Guy ended up releasing to me at this time that it was because he was with this girl. Putting two and two together. So I'm like, okay, this is why. This was the calmness. This makes so much sense. Like it makes so much freaking sense. So then Guy did say, like, did she ever tell you about like her daughter? You know, her daughter's 4 years old. Like, did she ever tell you, like where she came, like who did you ever meet her, the father of her daughter? Like, he never comes around. He was just kind of like asking me questions about the daughter. So I've never been suspicious of this child that's been coming around, or this girl that's been coming around. But Guy was kind of hinting like there's something I should be questioning when it comes to her 4-year-old. Mind you, remember, we knew her 7 years. I've never seen a guy around, and she did give me some crazy story about how she ended up with her daughter, and I didn't question it because I didn't care. But and I never seen like a guy, like there was never a guy around. So he's trying to kind of hint something to this. I can tell.
Now she's trying to put it off on
So now
him.
that he's
That's
raised my
crazy.
suspicion on this girl, of course, I have
Guy
her phone
is a
number.
dirtbag.
So, first I try to call Anthony to try to get a little more explanation on all the details that I just found out that Guy has told me about this girl. Now, don't exclude the fact that there's more. It
Jackie,
wasn't
I
just
don't know what
her.
you're talking about.
There were way more, and I'm finding all this out. So, but this one was a little more intense because it wasn't just a hit and quit type of situation. There was possibly something that came out of it. So I try to call him first, of course, try to call my husband. He's not answering his phone. I try to text him. He's not responding. Eventually, it was started to go to voicemail, and none of my texts were going through. They weren't saying delivered. They were just, kind of like someone had you blocked. So I tried to call him blocked, and it wasn't going through, which made me feel like maybe his phone died. He's like a person who doesn't really care about charging his phone or anything like that. So I was just like, oh, okay. Kind of felt a sense of relief, like, his phone died. That's why he's not responding to me. He's not responding to me because he just doesn't want to talk to me. His phone is just dead. But that wasn't the case. So now that he's raised my suspicion on this girl, of course, I had her phone number. So first I tried to call Anthony to try to get a little more explanation on all the details that I just found out that Guy has told me about this girl. Now, don't exclude the fact that there's more. It wasn't just her. There were way more, and I'm finding all this out. So, but this one was a little more
Woo.
intense because it wasn't just a hit and quit type of situation. There was possibly something that came out of it. So because he wasn't answering, I decided, well, let me go ahead and try to call her. Guy's just sitting there calm as ever on his phone, scrolling down his TikToks, while I'm over here pacing back and forth trying to figure out, what's coming out of that situation now.
She worried about her husband, but she with guy.
So I
That's
called her.
crazy.
Her phone rang, but she wasn't picking up the phone. I called her again. Still no answer. I tried a third time. On the third time, she did answer the phone. When she did answer, I tried to just act like there was nothing to there's no reason for my call. I'm just checking in. So I'm like, hey, what are you doing? However, it was really quiet and she was acting.
Come on, internet. Come on, good old internet. We're gonna have to finish this shit at home. I ain't gonna lie. We're gonna have to finish this at home tomorrow. This is very frustrating. Very, very frustrating.
A bit weird. So in my mind in that moment, I'm trying to, I feel like my mind was putting two and two together. Like, okay, his phone is off. I thought it died. And she wasn't answering the phone. She's acting weird. It's super quiet. I don't even hear her 4-year-old in the background. And it wasn't, it just wasn't the normal scenario or situation that I normally have when I talk to her. So I asked her, how's your daughter doing? And she awkwardly is responding to my questions. And I came flat out and I asked her, hey, I've heard some stuff about you and my husband. Is there something that, you feel like I should know? Quick post just to let she got. So her response to that was no. There's nothing. Well, I asked her what was going on with her and my husband, and she just said nothing. There's nothing. So I told her about what I heard, and she said, of course, that guy was lying. And then I asked her about her daughter, and I don't think that her daughter looks like my husband, at all. But you never fucking know these days with kids. So she kind of felt disrespected by that and was fine with taking a DNA test, the lie detector. She was bringing up all the things she can do to prove that, nothing went on with her and my husband. So I asked her, I was like, is he there? Because I'm calling his phone and he's not answering. You weren't answering. And, I just flat out asked her, is he there? She said no. So after a couple minutes, anyways, I didn't know whether to believe her or not because I don't really know her. Like I said, we didn't really have a real tight ass friendship. It was more so just kid stuff like we were with Guy. But yeah, that was how that rumor that he tried to start, that was how that ended. Nothing too dramatic. So I don't know if anything else he told me at this point was true, and he did tell me some other stuff. So I was a bit annoyed because, like I said, I don't know what to believe at this point now because Like, I don't really know her, and Guy has really been around so long with Anthony, but then I don't know, or didn't know at that point what his intentions were with telling me like this type of information. So I had to take everything he said with a grain of salt. So then he ended up telling me about the story about a time when my husband was in Alabama, and I was trying to reach my husband. We had just got off the phone, so probably about 2 hours later, before I went to bed, I was trying to give him a call, and his phone was going straight to voicemail. He was at a hotel at this point because he went on a work trip, and he wasn't answering the phone. So now, mind you, I didn't tell Guy any of this story. Like, this is not a conversation we had, but he said, remember that time when your husband was in Alabama and you were trying to call him, but it was going straight to voicemail. The girl who I just got off the phone with was in Alabama with him. So that kind of validated it for me that she was lying, because, like I said, I didn't tell Guy about the Alabama story. But he also gave more detail on what happened that night. And what happened is, I tried to call the hotel. I even had one of my friends try to call the hotel because, we were calling the hotel phone and he wasn't answering. So I called the hotel and told them to do a wellness check. They, for some reason, wouldn't help me out. I don't know but anyways, one of my friends ended up calling the hotel
She's
and telling
cannot.
them, unfortunately, my
Oh
sister
my
keeps
God,
calling.
she's
You
so.
guys are not doing a wellness check. I need you to go and check on the room. So I was a bit annoyed because, like I said, I don't know what to believe at this point now, because, like, I don't really know her, and Guy has really been around so long with Anthony, but then I don't know, or didn't know at that point.
She's conniving.
So
It's sneaky.
my
It's
friend was
sneaky.
able to get them to go knock on my husband's hotel door and do like a safety check and make sure that he was fine, because she explained that we're trying to call him, we're trying to text him, it's going to voicemail. His room phone is not working, or he's not picking it up. So the front desk, or whoever my friend talked to, did go knock on the door, and it was answered. The door was answered. My best friend was waiting on my best friend slash sister, we call each other sisters. She was waiting on hold while the front desk lady went and knocked on the door. So the lady came back and she said, they're fine. They're fine. They are fine.
Oh,
Who's
oh,
they?
oh. You mad?
So my best friend
Do
ends
y'all
up
hear
coming back on
this?
and saying, well, she said they're fine. So at that point, after the door knocking and me not being able to reach him, 20 minutes later, all of a sudden, I get a phone call from him. Mind you, this is all before, the whole Guy situation. So I wasn't doing any type of cheating at this time. Not that that makes it okay, so calm down.
Oh,
But yes, it was all when things were like really good, I thought.
oh, okay. This,
So he ends up calling me, and I answer the phone. Mind you, I know.
this is her
So I'm like,
justifying her
who
cheating.
is they? Why did they say, or why did the front desk lady say that, they were fine? Who's they? Who are you in the room with? Who the fuck is they? So my friend was able to. So he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, explaining to him that I've been calling his phone. I called his hotel room phone. I'm telling him everything. So mind you, he didn't call me from his cell phone at this point. He called me from the hotel room phone. And I'm like, so what happened to your phone? He said it dropped in some water. There's a puddle, and I tripped in the puddle, and the phone fell into the puddle. And now it doesn't work. I'm sorry, is it not? I believe it was like 2021. Is it not 2021? Are phones not like water resistant at this point? Confusion. But anyways, his phone fell in water and he had his phone in ice, and that's why his phone was off, because it wasn't working.
In ice?
So I'm like, well, why weren't you answering the room phone?
Fuck, what would it be in
And
ice
he
for?
said, because the room phone doesn't work. It's messed up. Like, I really can't hear you right now. So, I haven't been trying to use it, but I fell asleep anyways. I didn't hear a ringing, but I know that, like, it was the biggest bullshit story. So that confirmed that what guy told me was fucking true. And in that point, I'm putting the two and two together.
Guy
So I
is a
flat out
hoe.
asked guy, like, give me like some scenarios like that about the girl that I can more so tie together, because I can't go off of the Alabama situation when it comes to her. It can be any girl, but he's saying like, no, it was this particular girl. And you really need to check the DNA of her daughter. Don't believe her. And ask Anthony about it. And at this point, I felt like if I asked Anthony, I didn't know if he would tell the truth. I don't know. I didn't know if I would get the honest, response, because he's not in the right state of mind after what we just dealt with. But I texted him and I called him and he wasn't answering the phone still. So I knew I wasn't going to get any update on Alabama
Hey,
story or on
we justifying
girl.
cheating now.
We'll call her girl. I knew I wasn't going to get any update on her. And I couldn't go off of her bullshit because I didn't believe her. So I ended up just kind of letting him go, like, I stopped trying to call or text, because like I said, they weren't going through, it was going straight to voicemail, so his phone was off. So I knew that I was putting too much effort into nothing at that point. But eventually I got a message. Yeah, I got a text. So he's like, okay, so I'm only gonna do one video today to add to what happened yesterday. So yes, I got a text message. It was Anthony. He did text me and told me to leave her alone. That's what the message said. That was it. He said, leave her alone. So I'm like, first of all, my heart hit the ground. It went into my ass. And I'm like, I don't get it. Did she tell him? What? He said, leave her alone. So anyways, at that point, I'm calling. I called him probably about 33 times. And he wasn't answering the phone. He didn't block me or anything. He just wasn't answering the phone. So I ended up getting in my car. I called one of my friends. I actually called one of my mature friends because of the type of person she is. She's like my voice of reason. So I call her and I'm like, hey, normally you're the one who talks me out of this type of stuff. So here's the scenario. And I told her everything that I thought was going on. And she didn't know the girl, but she's been around her before. So normally she's like, just leave it alone. It's not the type of situation, you want to give too much energy to. So just leave it alone. That's her normal response. Not this night. This night, she said, "Where are you? I'm going to come to you." She comes to me and she's like, "Oh, we're going to go over there. However, you got to get it together. You look like shit." So she ends up doing my makeup, getting me super pretty, because she's like, if you're going to confront her, you got to show her that he's leaving something worth leaving. Anyways, so we end up going in her car, not my car, because we wanted to do a little stakeout first. So we ended up going in her car to girl's house. And we were sitting out in the driveway. His car wasn't there. Her car was there though. And the lights were on, like it was, she was home. So we didn't leave, like we kind of just sat there, because I'm like, I think he's there. I still think he's there. I don't know. Well, I mean, I still thought he was there. I'm talking like I'm in the situation still. But anyways, we sat there for probably about 45 minutes to an hour.
45
And
minutes.
they both, well, I sat there for 45 minutes to an hour. And a DoorDash Uber driver came and pulled up. They both came out. So he was there. They both came out. They grabbed their DoorDash and they got into her car, a little piece of shit car, and they drove off. So my friend was like, we're gonna follow them, because she at this point was like, okay, she needs to be handled. Mind you, she wasn't the friend that really knew too much about what I had going on. So at this point, she was just angry because she thought like I was this super loyal person. And the whole time, that was going on with Guy. So mind you, this is one of my best friends, but it wasn't the best friend who knew the whole story, because she really had love for my husband. So I really didn't want to include her in it. So anyways, we end up following them.
Oh, this year,
and
trash.
I almost not fainted because I was sitting down, but I almost passed out because of where they pulled up to. And the reason why is because, well, at first it's not where they pulled up to, it's the fact that they both got out at the place that they pulled up to. Very disrespectful. And no, it wasn't our house. It was somewhere else. Somewhere who obviously, or someone's house who obviously knew more than she acted like she knew. But I'll save that for another day.
Her friend.
So a lot of people are trying to guess what or who the house was. And I seen a lot of comments saying it was, his mom's house. And unfortunately, it was not. I know that would be very predictable, but it was not. It was not his mom's house. It was actually my friend of 20 years. I did a live a couple days ago where people were able to ask questions, and someone said, like, is there anybody who knew about everything from your side? So I did, let it be known that there was only one person that I told. I mean, I like at a family friends, it was one person. She was my friend since like 2005. So she was the only one who knew about me and Guy. And that's where they pulled up to. So my friend Julie and I are sitting in the car, and we see them two both, like I said, they both got out of the car and knocked on the door, went in smoothly. We waited probably about 10 minutes. And then I usually call or text like before I'm going to go to my friend's house, my best friend. And I didn't. So I just knocked on the door. She opened. She was super red. She's probably about my complexion, maybe a little lighter, but she was super red. I could tell that she knew why I was there. However, she tried to play cool. So I'm like, hey, what are you doing? We bought over some wine. Let's drink. Let's hang out for a little bit. It was early. It was Friday night. It was early. It was like 7:30, maybe 7:40.
All the while, she's a cheater.
So we're kind of, me and Julie are kind of trying to see, first of all, why she's not letting us in the house, because I have a key. I could have just used the key. But I didn't, of course, because I wanted to see how she was going to respond. She wouldn't let us in the house. So I'm like, what the hell? This makes it so obvious.
Yeah, she's trying to
So I'm
justify her
like,
crap.
what are you doing? Anyways, she's like, oh, I gotta take my son to his dad's house. He's going to his dad's house for the weekend. So we're about to get him ready and, get everything together. So her son is my godson. Her son is probably like 9. And, well, he's not probably like 9. He was 9. So I'm like, oh, I can help you, what does he need, da, da, da. And she's like, no, because we're probably going to stay there for a little bit. So I'm going to take him a bath real quick. And then, we're going to head out. And my daughter's going to stay here. So I'm like, okay, cool. So me and Julie are just going to go back to her house and, drink on our wine. That's what I told her. That's not what Julie and I did. Of course not. That's not what Julie and I did. Julie is... like I said, she's normally my voice of reason. At this time, she was not. She was like, how you have like the angel and the devil on the shoulder? She was being the devil in this instant. So she's like, I don't like it. I don't like it. So we end up going to her backyard because, like I said, I had the key. And she had one of those situations where the key works for the front door and the back door. So we went to the back door. Mind you, whole time, my husband and girl is in there. So we walk in through the back door, unlocked it, and just walked in. My best friend wasn't on her first floor. She was upstairs. And in her basement, her whole basement is finished. It's beautiful, really nice basement where it's kind of like an apartment. So she had an extra room, living room, like a bathroom. It was a full thing, except for a kitchen. Anyways,
Why is she doing this for the husband she cheated on?
Upstairs. Julie and I went downstairs, and there was no one in the living room. My husband and the girl were not like on the main floor, so we went downstairs. There was nobody in the living room area downstairs, like in her finished basement. So Julie starts knocking on the bedroom that's down there. She knocked and knocked and knocked and tried to open it, and it was locked. So she's calling my friend's name who lives there, and she's like, hey, She wasn't answering. She broke the door down. She did it. I didn't do it. I wasn't going to, do that to somebody else, somebody's house. However, she did. Hey, whatever. So she breaks down the door, and I'm standing in the living room, like kind of to the side, so they couldn't see me. But they seen her. And when she broke down the door, she froze. She did not. I thought she was gonna charge and go in and try to like do something or handle something. She just stood there and like was like in shock, like, what the fuck? And I'm like, what the fuck? What happened? Say something. At this point, she was just in shock by what she seen. So a lot of people...
Well, since I landed on your FY...
All right, here we go. So Julie ended up opening the room door downstairs in the basement of my best friend's house. And like you all know, if you watched the last story, she was in shock. She was literally just... And she's normally not like that. So that's why it's a little weird, because normally she's like, she steps first. She was shocked. So I'm like, what the hell? What's happening? Why are you... It wasn't the girl that he pulled up with, that everybody's like, guy said that's the kid. However, I was wondering where she was, because I walked up to the room and I'm like, well, where the hell is girl if he's in here with my best friend? Like, is this like a 3 relationship? Or I was so confused at this point because, like I said, this is my best friend of 20 plus years. I mean, I'm her child's godmother, and her child has been around longer than my husband and I have been together, because he's 9. My husband and I have been together for 8. But anyways, so yes, she's in the room, and it wasn't a pleasant view. So my other best friend runs in. The situation, of course, got crazy. And her son comes running downstairs, her son and her daughter. And I'm still wondering, like, where the hell is girl? So I run upstairs. At this point, like, my mind, I don't even know. It was just so much to think about with just everything that happened with Guy. Then him being at girl's house. And then both of them coming to my best friend's house. And now it's really him with my best friend. And it's funny because everybody's just like, this is so unbelievable. Believe it. Tell me you believe it, because believe it. So anyways, yes, I run upstairs to go see where girl is. Apparently, she's outside in her car. She's on her phone. So I run out to her and I'm like, hey, like, is this like a 3-way thing? Like, what's going on? Are all 3 of you, like, from what I heard, it's you and him, not her and him. So she had no idea that they had anything going on. But she didn't, she still wasn't taking, accountability. I guess that's the word we can use, accountability. She still wasn't admitting that there was something going on between them two. I sit out there with her maybe 3 minutes, and Guy pulls up in a car. So I'm like, well, obviously in a damn car. So I'm like, well, what the hell is Guy doing here? It's just all over the, like, everything was just all over the fucking place. It was just like, okay, we pull up here. My husband comes here with girl, who I thought he was messing with. They come to my best friend's house. Now my best friend and him are in the basement having the time of their lives. And my friend Julie walks in on them. I'm standing there like, what the hell's going on? Because girl's out in the car. I go out to girl, and now Guy is coming here. So Guy gets out of the car, and he starts talking to me. He's like, what is going on? Why is she calling me, telling me you're over here, creating all this drama? So I'm like, who the fuck is she? Who's she? Is it girl, or is it my best friend inside? I'm going to put a name to her, okay? Her name is Jess as well. Anyways, I know that's so corny, but yes, my closest best friend is Jess and Jess. She was my best friend. Was. So, Guy starts to ask me, like, what's going on? Why is this so sloppy? Like, oh my gosh, like, why are you over here fighting? And I'm telling him, like, well, first of all, I'm not fighting. Nobody's fighting. We don't do that. But here's the story. So I run down, like, everything that just went on. And the girl comes out and she's like, well, I know you keep asking if, Anthony is my daughter's father, but I really am not lying to you. Like, she's not my daughter's father. She said Guy was her daughter's father. So I'm just sitting there like, is that why you called Guy? But why would Guy say that you're everything? This shit you just, I mean, you can make up, I guess, but you just can't make up. Like, this was one of the craziest freaking nights of my life. So she's like, I don't know why. Because I'm like, well, he told me that it was Anthony that was your child's father. And he said, no, he's trying to break you and Anthony up. So I said, well, what about Alabama? She said, you need to be asking your husband about Alabama. She said, I know about Alabama. You need to be asking your husband. So at this point, like I said before, I didn't feel like Anthony like he owed me any type of explanation. So I really didn't get the chance to talk to him about anything. So I go inside and I'm like, hey, like what happened with, like, tell me about Alabama. First of all, are you talking to girl? He said no as well. And then I asked him about Alabama. Mind you, I know what you all are thinking. You're probably like, well, why the fuck are you not asking him about Jess? And that's because I wanted to ask her. I felt like she owed me more of an explanation than he did. But I'm going to get to her. And that's going to come on the next part. I did talk to Jess. And what she had to tell me, you guys, you're not going to believe that one.
Hey, quick intermission. Quick intermission. Man, Facebook is a damn devil. Cause I done found out my homeboy on that I grew up with fighting for his life. Now it's real shit. Now we about to get, cause this bitch story boring. Okay, all right, and she's a cheater, and I hate her at this point. But let me get y'all my own story time, and then we gonna continue on with her story time. Cause really, we just in it to be in it at this point. Okay, y'all feel me? We just in it to be in it. But my day one, we was popping back in the day, you know what I'm saying, back in high school. And he was we were good Christians, okay? But anyway, we used to steal cars back in the day. Don't tell nobody this, okay? Don't tell nobody else this story, okay? We used to steal cars back in the day. Remember car lots? You go to the car lot and they got the box on the window, and we used to pop those locks, get the keys, and steal the car as well. All right, so how we steal the car is uh, we drive over the curb and there's like a storm ditch. We'll drive over the storm ditch and highway, we out of there. You know what I'm saying? We didn't, it wasn't no go through the gate. So, man, we used to have cars, like every day, cars, right? We was like 14, 15. Driving up to Douglas in brand new $50,000 whips. Hey, this is true. This is real. This is real. This is real life. And man, my homeboy, like it's crazy. He fighting for his life right now. I think somebody tried to kill him. And he just did. He did. He hit. He just did like 10 years fed because he hit like 24 banks. He robbed like 20. He was going state to state robbing banks. He been a thief since I known him. He been a thief anyway. But anybody know him? My bro Chris Wigley, me, Chris Wigley, and Andre. We was thick as thieves. Like we was in you know when you get kicked out of regular school and you go to that alternative school, all three of us, we was like this, right? And man, we was stealing cars, right? So the night, all right, the night we stole a bunch of cars, right? And we like all split up. I don't know. Everybody went to their. I parked my car at an abandoned house down the street from my house. I parked my car down the street from my house, but I know I left him. He had a Mercedes Benz, and uh, a police over by OU Medical is you know the OU Medical police. They got their own little police division. They pulled up behind him, and he in a Mercedes take off jetting, right? He run from him. He jumped the fence, cut his hand, and get home. And then when he get home, he say he laid in a tub of, he like filled the tub up with water and laid in it. And I don't know how true that is, but that's just what he said. But we thinking like, oh man, bro, really? Like, damn. So anyway, that was the next day he telling us what happened, right? And so we got all these cars. We got cars everywhere. Like we got cars parked. We stealing cars every other night from different car lots all around the city. And then stickers are stealing cars all over the city. But so um then we drive to school in all new cars. Like my one of my friends had a Grand Cherokee. We had a Toyota Land Cruiser. We had what else did we have? Oh, I was in a Firebird. I was in a no, it was I don't know, it was a Firebird or was a is it a Firebird or what's that other one? It was a Trans Am. It wasn't a Firebird, it was a Trans Am. I was in the Trans Am, right? And I barely knew how to drive stick. I was turning that clutch up. It's like and going like it was that bad. Like if you know how to drive a stick, then you know what I'm talking about. Or if you learn to drive a stick. And so I'm in the Trans Am. My bro who just cut his hand, like we had lunch, we like kicking it and all this stuff. They parked in. What got us caught up is these fools parked this $50,000 car at the time. I think Toyota Land Cruisers gotta be like 100,000. I don't even think it was a Toyota. No, it was what's a Land Cruiser? Is it a Toyota or a Range Rover? I don't know. But it was like a Land Cruiser. It was called Land Cruiser. I can't remember. I think it was a Toyota. But he parked it in the teacher's parking lot. We would have all got away with it had he not parked in the teacher's parking lot. But it didn't make a difference. It didn't matter. I parked in the cause I parked in the gym parking lot. I parked where because in the gym. And like I get out of basketball. I'm wearing my my shorts. I got my backpack, all my clothes in my bag. I throw my clothes in the car, and I'm taking off. We're starting in second gear and all kind of raggedy stuff, tearing that car up. But I drive off. It's like back when Douglas was first. It was like one way in, but then you go around, and it's one way out. Like so, it was a go around in a circle, right? So he came from the teacher's parking lot, the gym parking lot's here, the teacher's parking lot here. So he had to come around the thing and then go around. Well, I came out and he was coming right behind me, and because we was about to go kick it. Honestly, we was about to go kick it, and so Andre he driving the Land Cruiser, and I'm in the Trans Am, and we see police come from everywhere. They come from everywhere, dog. And I just gas it. But I didn't mean to. I just didn't know how to drive a stick. But I pushed the gas and I released the clutch, and that shit it just took off. And then a police pit maneuver me, bam, right into a damn. It's this damn. It's like a plant place. They got like you can get like grass and stuff and flowers and stuff right there. It's across the street from the school. Bam, pit maneuvering right there in the corner. And I was like, damn, get out the car, get out the car. And I'm looking at my friends, Andre take off. I see him running across the damn school. But it's so many police officers out there. They caught him. They caught him. But so anyway, we 15, 16 years old. We we all go to CIC. It's so funny. We all go to CIC. So we in there, we like, hey, don't say nothing. Don't tell nobody nothing. Don't do y'all don't know nothing. Bro, so my car, they hit my car, right? My car haven't been reported stolen because I just stole it the night before. The Land Cruiser, they parked it in the teacher's parking lot, but they stole it like 2 weeks ago. It's been reported stolen. That's how they got caught, right? That's how we got caught. So they didn't even know my car was stolen. They just seen me running. Mind you, they took when my mama came and picked me up. I told them it was my mom's car, and it was like because I didn't have no license or whatever. They was like, "You drive without a license. You saw the police. You should have just stopped, and now you destroyed your mom's car." Your mom. I was like, man. I told them police it was my mom's car. So when I got picked up from CIC, they gave my mama the keys. Said, ma'am, you can go pick up your car. And boy, my mama and daddy was like, remember I told y'all about those ass whoopings I used to get? Belt to ass all night long. My mama and them was like, what? Belt to ass all night long. Dog. I got a whooping out of this world for stealing cars. And then they gave this car to my mom and them. My mom was not. She was, and so that car sat there for like a few days. And then it got picked up. And then guess what I get in the mail? Guess what I got in the mail? A court date for a stolen car. Yep. But hey, I was a good kid. I went to church every Wednesday. I'm just telling y'all. But anyway, I had to say that because I hear my friend is fighting for his life. But we're gonna get back to this boring ass story. Okay. I mean it's not boring. It's just this lady is just like, you know, she's just like, girl, you cheated and you trying to justify all your cheating mess for like, you know, I'm kind of down about this. Like she's mad at her husband. Well, he might have cheated before and she didn't know, but then when he caught her cheating, he was like, "Oh, okay." He felt good about the cheating that he already did. So, which is still wrong in his rights. But then now she's trying to justify her being a bitch about him now, like, oh, I don't want to be with you. You gave me a free out. You gave him a free out. You slept with his friend. You was cheating with his friend. You was falling in love with his friend. And then when he caught y'all, now you don't like the friend. But that just means you never really liked the friend. You just needed somebody to confide in. You just needed somebody to like you just needed some outside D. You just wanted to feel love because you felt that he was cheating on you, and you was like, I'm not, if he gonna cheat on me, I'm not gonna be the only person unhappy. So let me do this, and that's what you did. And she's trying to have people be on her. Listen, there's more part. We ain't even got to the meat and potatoes of the story. Like the story gets deep. And I think I might have to finish it tomorrow because I'm really no, I probably won't even finish it, but like just go check out J Lo or Jess on damn TikTok because y'all gonna be like, you gonna see the comments and the people are like, girl, I know you didn't put this on the internet, but are you are you stupid? Hey, shout out to my bro. Shout out to Lucky Woods and Deals. Hey, y'all follow the Lucky Nation station, man. On YouTube, man. That's my dog. I told you, everybody be like, who is Lucky? Lucky's in the chat, man. Say what's up to Lucky, okay? That's my dog, man. But yeah, man, this chick is crazy. She absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Hey, and Melissa is in love with Tay. Tay and Melissa, we got a love connection. Tay, don't go cheating on don't go cheating on Tay, okay? Don't go cheating on Tay. But yeah, man. Hey, I got a lot of stories. I got a lot of stories. Man, I got a lot of stories. I got a lot. But when I get to the real, when y'all start to hear the real stories about the stuff that I used to do in life, man, y'all gonna be like, damn, PJ, I wasn't bad. I did, yeah, I wasn't bad. I never did anything that wasn't warranted in life. You know what I mean? I didn't, I didn't, I stole cars because I was bored. I didn't steal them because I needed money. I just stole them because I was bored. See, if we get these kids more stuff to do, then they'll be all right, okay? So give y'all kids stuff. Make sure y'all pay attention to y'all kids, man. Make sure y'all love them, okay? Don't be no suckers, okay? Thank you, Melissa. I love you too, man. You are my dog. Melissa's a true one. She is a real one. Kristen's a true one too. Shout out to Kristen. Man, shout out to my boy Lucky Nation Station. I'm telling y'all, man. Hey, we keep it lit over here, okay? Hey, y'all have a good Saturday night. I'm gonna come back tomorrow. Oh. Before I go, y'all go check out my video about yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all. Let me see. I'm gonna go to this story real quick. I'm gonna see if I can go to this story. Uh, my, my computer be tripping. Oh my God. This never go to a hotel. Okay. I'm gonna tell y'all about this story. Y'all go to this story. I want y'all to go to this story and I want y'all to watch this story because we got an interview. We got an interview with this lady. Man, where is it at? Oh my God. I don't know. Maybe I didn't go far enough. Oh, okay. Okay. Anybody remember this
So I
story?
met him when I was in ninth grade. He was in 12th grade. He was trying to talk to me. My homegirls at the time pointed out instantly, girl, what you trying to talk to him for? And why is he trying to talk to you? Bigger question. He's in 12th grade, whole senior about to graduate. You just got here. That's nasty. I was like, all right, y'all right. I only talked to him for 2 days. Not even 2 days.
Oh, snap.
Like a night on FaceTime and then a day. And
I'm
then
gonna get
that
your
shit was
wrench
cut
lucky
off.
when I get to my damn
The
computer.
only thing I remember from him, thinking back from high school, is that he used to walk around all like sad all the time, like really sad.
All right, all right. Go watch this. Go watch this on my. Go watch this video on my. On it's in a live. You can go to the live. Who the f is my baby daddy? About De'Ara Royal. Okay, go watch this video. Okay, because y'all gonna want to see. We have an interview, and the interview is gonna drop tomorrow morning with this woman about her story. And y'all gonna get the tea. Y'all gonna get the tea. Okay? This interview drops in the morning. And I'm finna share it out. I'm actually finna share it out. Go to my post and y'all gonna see I'm gonna share it out. Y'all go watch this video, get the whole story, and be like, and just be mesmerized. Y'all gonna be like, y'all gonna be kicking and screaming. But then also, I'm gonna just give y'all a disclaimer. I'm gonna give y'all a disclaimer. She got kids. Okay? So y'all gotta bear with us. We parent everybody parents, right? Are all y'all parents? Then show us some grace and support the video. Show us some grace and just live with it. Cause like we all go through, we all got kids. Like we not perfect. Everybody be like, "Oh, I can't have this and this happened and this happened." We not perfect. Nobody's perfect in none of these videos. Yeah, I get it. Everybody ain't storytellers. Everybody ain't storytellers, and that's okay. Let us be great though. Okay, we as people, we like to mess, we like the drama, but also everybody ain't just perfect. Nobody's a perfect storyteller. Nobody's a perfect parent. Nobody's we don't got the perfect kids. We didn't live perfect. So let's show everybody some grace. But we can still have them jokes. I love y'all can still come to the comments with the jokes, but just know it's a good story. But you gonna hear it, and I know everyday people gonna have the jokes. I get it. I love it too, cause I got jokes too myself. But watch this interview tomorrow. Y'all gonna love it. Y'all gonna be like, damn, damn, damn. Okay, okay. Everyday people, man, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I'm about to go take my daughter out. I'm about to go get us some pizza or something, man. We gonna have a good time because we got games tomorrow, and we gonna is I think she said you gonna find out about that. The deal, but I buy my own roses. You gonna find out about that in the video. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you what she said, but she, y'all gonna be like, damn, damn, damn. Everyday people, man. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share this out to y'all's friends.